welcome to Saudi Arabia and to the new season of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. And of course, welcome to this first ever Nissan Formula E pre-race show. I'm Darren Adetossier and we'll be providing you with exclusive access to the Nissan Formula E team. We'll be seeing the cars, the drivers, and we'll be taking you for behind the scenes into the garage. It's the 8th season of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship, the all-electric racing series. And this year we'll be travelling to 16 races across the world, 10 countries in total, 3 of which are new. We've got a new qualifying format, and Nissan E-Dams actually have a new driver, Maximilian Günther, who we'll be catching up with later on in the episode, along with his teammate Sébastien Buemi. And then we'll be hearing from Tommaso Volpe, who is the Nissan Global Motorsports Director. So it's going to be an amazing show. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be an electrifying season. Formula E is a highly competitive, fully electric racing series. 22 world-class drivers and 11 teams, including some of the world's biggest manufacturers, are battling it out wheel-to-wheel on the streets of iconic cities. Racing at speeds up to 280 kilometers per hour and accelerating from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 2.8 seconds, with a maximum power output of 250 kilowatts. The 45 minutes plus 1 lap race produces high-intensity racing, with teams and drivers battling on a level playing field thanks to identical batteries, tyres and aerodynamics. Unique features like attack mode and fan boost make Formula E anything but a traditional motorsport, and for the 2022 season, the cars have an extra 20 kilowatts of power to play with, meaning faster and more furious battling, but still with the crucial need for teams and drivers to manage energy efficiently and strategically to win the race and secure victory. This is the pinnacle of electric racing. This is Formula E. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of exciting new changes happening this season, and who better to talk us through it than the head of Nissan Formula E project, Tommaso Volpe. Tommaso, great to see you. How are you feeling ahead of season 8? Recharged, refreshed?
Absolutely refreshed and very excited to start again, and of course we kept on working during the break, but it's great to be back on track and to start the first race very soon.
Yeah, well, especially this season, as there are so many new changes. We've got the new qualifying format, the cars have an increase in power, and you also, of course, have a new driver, Max Günther.
Absolutely, it's going to be great this year. We have more power, which is always exciting in motorsport. The drivers are very excited to have more power on track. Of course, the performance of cars in this sport is pretty much about managing the energy. It's an energy race, really, but having more power is always a good news, and you have more fun on track, and you can play more with the power, and the drivers are very excited about this. For qualifying format, obviously, is more complex, but it will deliver even more excitement and entertainment to the fun. It will help to have more consistency in the performance of the drivers over the season, but also to have more focus on the heroes by the fan. The moment you have the duels, you have really like this battle, which is quite unique in motorsport, so I think it's going to be great.
It'll be amazing.
And of course we have a new driver, Max, and we are very excited to have him. I mean, we feel he has been with the team for a long time actually, because he's already very well integrated, and engineers are happy, mechanics are happy, we are all happy, and we are sure that together with Seb he will deliver a great job this season.
Amazing news. Well, Tommaso, before we leave you, we have some fan questions that have been submitted. Thank you to everyone that sent them in, and for the next episode you can do that on nismo.com or in the comments below on this video. So starting off with a question from Instagram, Francesco Coluccio has asked, what did you keep and what did you improve from the last season car? Good question.
Well, the car is the same because the homologation is the same, so the hardware actually is the same, but we changed a lot on all the control systems, so mainly the energy management software, which is in a way the soul of the car. So on this we think we are progressing, and we should deliver a better job this season, this coming season.
Amazing. And we have a next question coming in from Instagram, and Stephen has asked, using the same chassis across teams ensures competitiveness. Would you like to see those rules opened up so you can design your own aero parts?
Actually, we think that the attractiveness of Formula E is exactly the fact that OEMs or car brands can focus on the development of what is more relevant for us, which is the powertrain, the electric powertrain, and all the control systems and the energy management which come with it. So we really enjoy the fact that we can spend our money in R&D for this part of the car, which generates knowledge that we can actually transfer to our core business. So we are very happy with the regulations as they are.
Very exciting. Well, thank you very much, Tommaso. We'll be hearing from him later on in the season. But for now, I think I've spotted Max back there, so I'm going to go over there. Thanks very much, and let's go and see Max. So let's go and have a chat. Max, great to see you. Well, welcome to the Nissan Formula E pre-race show.
Thank you very much.
And welcome to Nissan as a whole, as a driver this season. How excited are you to be part of the team?
Yeah, really excited. I mean, I feel like we spent our first weeks and months together as a team in a very good way. You know, there are not really testing opportunities apart from obviously the official test in Valencia. So yeah, we really tried to use this time in the factory to have a lot of conversation, a lot of meetings to really speak the same language and push in the same direction right from the beginning. And really feeling at home and having a good feeling with my new team.
So they're looking after you well.
Absolutely, I can't complain.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, talking back about Valencia, it's obviously pre-season testing. That was your first time in the car. How did that feel? How did pre-season go?
Yeah, I think it was a very good test for us. You know, in these 3 days, we really tried to put everything into it. You know, a lot of software setup items that we wanted to try on the team side, but as well on my side. You know, first time in the car to get a feeling for all the new systems, for the new setup, because you know every team has got its own philosophy of how to achieve the performance. So the whole powertrain in the back, the rear geometry, everything is different. So yeah, that was very interesting for me, and it was really curious to explore all this in Valencia. And I'm really happy with how the 3 days went.
Absolutely. And so what have you been up to since Valencia?
Well, let's say apart from my usual preparation, I just spent a beautiful Christmas time together with my family in south of Germany.
Amazing.
So that was good. There was quite some snow. Enjoyed some cross-country skiing, and just very nice and silent.
Very fun. Well, we actually have some fan questions in, and Susie from NISMO.com has submitted, how do you prepare mentally and physically for the race?
Well, basically, you know, the preparation that I'm doing on the physical side is with my coach, like fitness coach, sports scientist. I'm working with him for 10 years now, so really long relationship, and he's training with me as well. He's sending me the training plan if I'm in Monaco, so I can do all the workouts by my own, and that's kind of the physical part. And then on the mental part as well, you really try to always push yourself to a new limit, because that's really what is important for us with all these things surrounding us, with all what's going on in Formula E, to really just always focus on yourself and do your own thing.
I bet a lot of resilience as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's my philosophy or my mindset in general is to always become a better version of myself, and I really enjoy this on and off the track.
I love that. Kazoo23_35 has sent in her question from Instagram, and they ask, how long do you spend in the simulator in preparation for a race weekend?
So usually in a simulator, like Seb and me, we share like 3 days, so like 1.5 days each for the race, and we really try to cover everything you can in terms of push laps. So we've got the 250 mode, the 220 mode, all the different warm-up procedures and so on, and then the same for the race. You know, there are so many different scenarios that you need to cover, and that you try to get prepared for. Obviously, it's a very good tool, the simulator, because we don't have any testing apart from that. So yeah, it's really useful, and enjoyed a lot.
Well, thanks very much, Max. We look forward to seeing you on the track later on this weekend, and we'll be chatting with him later on in the show as well. Well, I wasn't joking earlier when I said that we'd be giving you exclusive access to the Nissan E-Dams team. Right now we're bang in the middle of the garage. I'm joined by Lawrence, who's going to be giving us an exclusive tour. So Lawrence, please take it away.
Well, welcome Darren, welcome to the garage. So as you can see, we've got 2 cars here. We've got Maximilian Günther's car here and Sébastien Buemi's car here.
Amazing.
All the mechanics are getting those cars ready, because they've not actually seen these cars for 2 months. They've been in transit and coming over here. So they're beavering away, getting the batteries charged up, getting the powertrains put on and the bodywork all ready for the race weekend. There's actually about 10 mechanics that work on each car, 10 mechanics and engineers that work on each car, 20 in total. The software engineers all work behind there, and that's where the real sort of secret stuff happens, tip-tapping away on their laptops.
So we can't go into there?
I'm afraid not,
Okay,
no.
that's fine though, because you'll still give us a nice tour of what's going on here.
We will.
All right.
Okay. And then in the corner we have the driver's area, where all their changing area and their kit and helmets and everything is all stored. At the back we have a parts department, so we have spare parts for everything that's needed on the car, including a whole spare chassis should one be damaged badly enough, hopefully not.
Fingers crossed.
Exactly. And then right at the back we've got outside we've got a carbon fibre repair shop. So everything we need to keep these cars running, a mobile workshop that travels around all of the races.
Well, I'm very intrigued to see it. I know that we can't go in there. What can you show us?
Yeah, let's have a look at Max's car over here.
Do it.
So this is Max Günther's race car. This is the car number 22.
Okay,
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. Seb's car is number 23, which all Nissan factory cars run at the number 23 traditionally. And the reason for that is, in Japanese, the number 2 is pronounced ni, and the number 3 is pronounced san. So 23, 23, ni san. So this is ni.
Okay.
So yeah, the number 22 car, what can we tell you about these cars? Well, as you know, the Formula E cars are pretty much the same from the outside, and that's because it's what's called a spec championship, which means a lot of the parts are deliberately the same. So the chassis is all the same, so this big tub running down the center, that is all the same. The front suspension, the bodywork that we can see over here, that is all the same, and the reason for that is so that we concentrate our efforts on developing the electric powertrain, which is all situated towards the back of the car.
Okay, should we start with the front and then work
Let's
our way down?
start with the front. So we've got the brakes here. So these are carbon fibre brake discs, not that big as you can see.
Yeah, they're quite small actually. Why is that? It's small but powerful?
Yeah, exactly. Well, carbon fibre brakes are very powerful anyway, but a lot of the braking on an electric car is actually done with what's called the regenerative braking. So that is the motor at the back generating electricity and so slowing the car down at the same time. So they don't actually need as big a brakes as a traditional petrol engine car would need.
Okay.
So moving backwards, you can see all this lovely carbon fibre that's protecting the drivers and where the bodywork mounts onto. So these are like side impact structures here made of carbon fibre. And then we've got the halo here, which all FIA single-seater cars now have to protect the driver. So a fantastic bit of safety. But what's unique to Formula E is that if you have a look around the top, there's some lights within the halo.
Ooh, so we'll be seeing those light up in Diriyah, won't we?
Exactly. Well, yeah, with a night race you see it really clearly. But those light up to tell you when the driver is engaging either fan boost mode or attack mode. So they light up different colours to tell you those two different things.
Awesome.
In the cockpit we've got the steering wheel, a very complex bit of kit there which we won't go fully into right now, but there's about 40 different switches and about 100 different modes that they can go into. It's incredible that they can drive so fast around the track and twizzle these knobs all at the same time, so incredible. Wow. Above us here we have the gantry. This is bespoke made by the team to service the car. And this does all sorts of different things. So in Formula E there's no telemetry, so that means there's no live data coming back to the car, which is a cost reducing reason. But when it comes back, the car plugs in like an umbilical cord into this gantry here, and all the data is sort of taken out of the car and over to the boffins on the laptops over there, so they can see what's going on and how they can improve it. These cables running down here into the car are actually cooling cables. So when the battery is being charged, and the battery is just sort of in there as well, they charge it so fast that to reduce the heat and to make it charge quicker, they have the cooling there.
Very cool.
So the charging cable also comes into here, into the battery, and then as we move back from here, this is where Nissan really does its thing.
Is this the powertrain?
This is the powertrain.
Okay,
so this is
hidden behind.
Yeah, this is where Nissan can really make the difference. So in this part of the car is essentially all Nissan. So from where the battery goes, there's an inverter which turns the power from the battery into a type of power that the motor can use. Okay. The motor is developed by Nissan, and then that goes into the transmission, which drives these axles here and ultimately drives the rear wheels and powers the car. And all of those things are developed by Nissan, and we've got one running at the moment.
Yeah, well,
right on cue.
Exactly, so we'll leave them to get to work.
Yeah.
It's been great chatting with you, Lawrence. I've definitely learned a lot more. I've always been curious about what all these things mean.
Yeah, this is what they look like underneath.
Yeah, this is it. Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thanks. Now, the talking point of this season has to be qualifying. This year we have a brand new format which will see the two fastest drivers battle it out head to head in a one-lap shootout to determine who will be on pole position. Whereas the drivers at the top of the championship from last season would go out, which wasn't so good because the track conditions weren't the best. So we're really excited about this new format, and I'm joined here today by Pablo Martino, who is going to be talking us through why they decided to change it. Pablo's head of the sporting matters for Formula E at the FIA. So Pablo, thank you for joining us. Let's talk about the new qualifying format.
Well, we decided to make something new, something that can create some kind of excitement, but at the same time that could be more beneficial for those who really deserve to be in pole position. So basically we have divided the qualifying session in two parts. The first part is for the 22 cars. We split them in 11 and 11 according to the championship standings. So everybody is like in a fair group. They have to be the four fastest of their own group. And these four fastest will progress to the duels part, that is also known as a head-to-head battles. These battles happens in a quarter-final, semi-final and final format, so it's easy for everybody, especially for the people at home, to follow how it is going. And basically it's a one-lap shootout. The winner of that lap shootout amongst the two drivers is progressing to the next stage, so it's easy for understand. And this get to the point that we get to the final, that it will be, or we expect it will be exciting.
Very exciting indeed. I imagine in the process of figuring out what the new format would be, there were lots of different ideas floating around. How did you know that this would be the one? And what are your expectations of it?
Well, the first expectation is that we make that this is something fair, so everybody can get the same opportunities to get to the pole position. That is what all they expect. Not only for the points that they are granted by the pole position, but as well because it's kind of a privileged position at the start of the race. You are first, so you are starting with more chances to win. And that's quite important. And people in the paddock and the teams, the drivers, they focus really a lot of efforts on achieving that position in the grid. We wanted, as I said, to make it something fair, equitable, and that everybody can get the same access or the same opportunity to get the access to that. And yeah, basically we had kind of brainstorming some crazy ideas, as we always have, but we really think that we had delivered a product and a session that is good for both parties, for the drivers from the seat, for the teams, but also for the TV and the spectator.
Well, fingers crossed when all the action kicks off over the weekend, we'll be seeing Nissan at the top of the grid. But Pablo, it's been great chatting with you and getting to hear more about how the qualifying format's going to work. Yeah, looking forward to seeing the cars on the track.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, Pablo. Cheers. So I've managed to track down Sébastien Buemi. Seb, great to see you again. How was your off season?
It was actually great. Happy to see you too. We've had a pretty long period of time since Berlin, and obviously we had the Valencia test in December. So we've been working as hard as we could in trying to prepare the car and improve it as much as possible. Obviously, season 7 was a disappointing one for us as a team. So we want to bounce back, and yeah, I hope we're going to have a good start to season 8.
Well, yeah, season 8 is an exciting one, isn't it? We've got the new qualifying format, your car has some extra power. Let's start off with the qualifying format. What are your thoughts on that? Excited?
Yeah, very excited. I think we've never seen that in motorsport with the duels and the group at the beginning of qualifying. So I think it's going to make it a little bit more fair for everyone, especially on a track like here in Riyadh, where the track improvement is pretty much massive. So we knew that being in Group 1, you basically had no chance to have a good qualifying position. That's going to completely change this year with the group. So we're going to do the best we can with it. I mean, it's for everyone the same. So the idea is to just, position ourselves well for the race.
And with the extra power as well on this Diriyah circuit, how advantageous do you think it will be?
Well, I think, again, qualifying will be with the same power, but the race will be with a bit more power. So we will be running 220 kilowatts instead of 200, and the attack mode will be with the full power of 250 of qualifying. So it's just going to be a bit faster. I don't expect big differences. Maybe the attack mode will be slightly less powerful than before because the gap of power is a bit less. But other than that, it's just up to us to manage the battery well, the tires, because obviously more power means more energy in the battery, more energy in the tires. So it's just up to us as a team to do a good job.
And how are you settling with Max as your teammate?
I'm happy to have Max as my teammate. Obviously, he's coming from a good team. He had a few wins there, so you know he brought us quite a few new things that hopefully will make us a bit faster this season.
Amazing. Well, we're looking forward to that. And we actually have some fan questions in for you.
Okay.
So from NISMO.com, Billy has asked, with no pit stops, how does strategy affect the race?
I think it's a bit different. Obviously, we don't have any pit stop now since season 4, so the last 4 seasons now have been without pit stop, and clearly we don't have pit stop, but we have the attack mode, we have the fan boost, and we have this whole story about the energy management and the fact that we need to do a 45 minutes race plus 1 lap. So clearly, I would say I'm not lacking the fact of not having a pit stop. It's just that we just have to deal with the energy management, which is already
a lot to deal with.
A lot to do, yeah. Plus the attack mode, when you take it, how many attack modes you have. So no, I don't think the fact of not having any pit stop is an issue. It's just a bit of a different racing, and it's up to us teams to do a good job with it.
Brilliant answer. The next question comes from Instagram, and I'll be honest, I'm going to butcher this name. NBHHRSY. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But they ask, how do you get ready before getting into the car, and do you have any rituals?
Not so many rituals, but maybe I just jump in the car and out from the right side, the left side, sorry, excuse me. So other than that, not much. You know, I try to be at the back of the garage, and I try to focus on my stuff, on what I have to do. I like to spend a bit of time with my engineer and then on my own just to review things, because you know, this year we're going to have FP1 that will be down to only 30 minutes. And then you have FP2 with 30 minutes, and then that's qualifying. So you really don't have much time, and you have to be really focused on the job to do.
Definitely. And Lawrence has asked, does it make much difference racing at night? Do you have to change anything?
Racing at night is actually nice. That's the only race we have at night, but it's amazing. So other than the visor, I'm going to drive with the clear visor, just because I want to see slightly better. But the lights are so good that it doesn't really matter. You don't really see the difference because you see the track so well. But yeah, just changing my visor.
Amazing. Well, yeah, it's one of my favourites as well, the night race. So cool to watch. But thank you so much, Seb. I'll let you to continue with your preparations.
Thanks
everyone. Well, that's all we have time for today, but hopefully after hearing about all of the exciting changes for Season 8, you're as excited as I am for the cars to hit the track this weekend. Speaking of, on screen now is the details for where you can watch wherever you are in the world, so you don't miss out on the action. But the racing kicks off on Friday and Saturday. Qualifying is at 3:30 local time, and the racing is at 8 p.m, so you don't want to miss it. But I look forward to seeing you in Mexico for the next build-up show. Until then, make sure that you submit your fan questions so that maybe you'll be featured in the next one. You can do that in the comments below or on nismo.com. But for now, we've just got the racing to focus on here in Diriyah. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy.